daring approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Time is running out on Dan Cole's round. Let's go to 15. Bob?
Yeah, John Cole has been visibly angry. He's been talking to himself quite a bit. And it doesn't get any easier here on the par 3 15th hole at Minnesota National. This hole is guarded by two bunkers with a big tree in front of the green. Very challenging tee shot. He's opted to hit a 5-iron here. Cole, unreal pants, fluttering in the wind, mumbling to himself, I've got to have this shot. Hooty-hoo! Ooh, that's very well struck. Spinning through the air like a J.J. McCarthy pass. It's right on line. Looking good. Oh, my! It's in! I can't believe what I just saw. A hole-in-one for Cole at the 15th, and he's pointing at patrons in the gallery shouting, you doubted me, you doubted me, you doubted me, and now he's embracing his son, Peter. What a moment between father and son here at the 15th at Minnesota National.
I'm unlimited, Mr. Unlimited.
Yes, Vikings ball, let's play!
I think we have a very good mix right now. I mean, the morning show does well, comparatively speaking, especially given what it has to go against. Dubers and I have done well, knock on wood, for 4 years. Common and Hartman have done okay, and Barrero is, in my estimation, the primetime player on our station. And cultivating a couple of kids in Sludge and Lake, and, you know, we have the Vikings and maybe some things down the road, so I think we're strong right now.
Tuesday night.
You know, sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. You know, and you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north.
Yada.
This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
And the Common Man program begins in 5. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Greetings, good afternoon, and ack-ack-a-dack, and dack-dack-a-ack to you and yours. I'm Dan Cole, and this is the worst all-sports radio station in the country. So says a former employee who funny was fired from here. I'm a radio dinosaur. This is my La Brea tar pit. Someday, archaeologists and paleontologists will be sifting through the rubble that will be 1600 Utica Avenue South, and they'll stumble across my cold, dead, rigor mortis-laden lips. Well, first they'll find my skeletal remains. Then they'll find my cold, dead, rigor mortis-laden lips attached to this, what used to be a Neumann BCM 104 microphone. We ruined so many of those that now we have an Electrolux 27 BCD or something of that nature. We're here until 3 o'clock. Then we turn it over to Big Ticket and JG. I'm Common. He's 10 to be. It's a Phone It In Friday. Actually, for the longest time, we called it a FedEx Friday. And then the UPS people felt left out. You know, we called FOBLO, fear of being left out. So then we changed it to Phone It In Friday. But then we decided that we would change it into a Fed Up Friday. Fed Up Friday. Everybody's fed up. Okay. Hey-o. I want to thank all the people that came out to 5-iron golf last night. There was over 200 people that showed up for the open house the grand opening last night. And not only did we hit knockdown, punch, cut, fade draws with TrackMan technology, they're in the North Loop, by the way. The chef-inspired food was as good as it get. They had a huge, big buffet out there, and for everybody that showed up, the food was free Free.
Wow.
Everybody wants something for free. I had chicken wings. I had fresh guacamole, and they had these little bags of chips. And you could, as much as you wanted to eat, all for free. Pizza. I tried hot honey pepperoni pizza? I'd never had pepperoni pizza with a little bit of honey on it. I wanted to eat my way right through to the grill. And then they had sliders, and I know you like a good Boiger tend to be, so it was a great time. So we had a whole bunch of fun. People won prizes. I established the closest to the pin at 15.2 feet, seventh hole at Pebble Beach, the iconic 113-yard. We played it at 113, par 3. That didn't hold up
Where'd
for
you
long.
hit it on one?
The winning distance was 3.6 feet. Somebody stuffed
Nice.
it in.
What yardage was it at?
I just said that.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was trying to find my dark star.
113 yards.
113.
Though you have to figure out the downhill and
Yes.
so I don't know exactly what it was. But what was really surprising was reasonable doubt for reasonable fee guy, and something in the way he swings guy showed up. These guys are both really talented players. Neither one could even hit the green. He had three tries at it. And these guys, I've played with these guys. Something in the way he swings guys probably a scratch or a 1. Reasonable was a 1 at one time. He's still a good player, but he doesn't play as much as he used to. He's busy in court.
Sure.
If it pleases the court. No further questions, Your Honor. I rest my case. The two of them not even posting a number would be the equivalent of Scheffler and Schauffele not making the cut. That's really what I thought. I thought one of those two would be the winner, and they just couldn't pull it off. So it was.
What distance was it playing? I know you said it was at 113, but with the downhill, what do you think it was?
I don't know. It's probably playing 108.
Oh, that's it?
Like that. Yeah, something like that.
Was there any wind?
No, we had no wind. Well,
Okay.
I'd actually, Tony's the general manager. I said, how about if I establish my number? And then is there a way that you could stand over by the keyboard, and right when the contestant stands up to the tee box, could you just hit the wind like 30 miles an hour coming off the ocean? They weren't able to do that. There were some people that hit it so far into the ocean, it landed in the Atlantic Ocean. That's how far right they hit it. It circled the globe, basically. We had a good time, and I want to thank everybody for being there. The first prize was, the person got to select the tickets they wanted. They wanted Wolves. Second place took the Wild tickets. Third place took the $100 Visa gift card. I don't know about you, Tennessee, but I'm taking the $100 Visa gift card.
That sounds good.
I'm taking that for first prize.
I like $1,000.
Yeah, no, $100.
Oh, $100.
Yeah, $100 Visa gift card. And I know, I don't know, face value of Wolves Wild tickets. I didn't look at the tickets, so I don't know what the face value is on it. But probably more than a C note.
Yes.
But $100 will go a long way nowadays. So that's what I would. But we had a great time. I want to thank everybody at 5 Iron Golf for their faith in the official, unofficial ambassador of Minnesota Golf, and the Grom and the fan in general, and the promotions department was great, and we really had a good time last night. Johnny Poliska was there. I made sure he kept watching to see if my car was getting towed. I found out I was parked in a parking lot right next to 5 Iron, but I think I was told that was for another building. So every 15, 20 minutes, I would ask Johnny P. I said, hey, my car's still there? And he said, yeah, because if the tow truck's up there, I got to run out. Now, let me ask you this. If the tow truck is hooking up the hook, right,
Yeah.
and you come out, will they, because they've already been called, they go, sorry, I'm towing it, man. Either that, you just give me the money, because I've sent my truck out here and I'm about to get it. Or if you get out there and say, I'll move it myself, are you in the right? Or would I have to hire reasonable
Could you
doubt
get a physical confrontation over that?
Would I have to hire reasonable doubt for reasonable fee guy for breaking the law? And would I get into a physical confrontation? That's the other thing. I don't know. I do know this. There's plenty to get to today before we do a program, the Feminine Touch program. Lil B will be here at 1 o'clock. And then a program password at 1:30. Fallness and Charge will join Lil B and I, so we'll be doing that. Also, other side of the break, tend to be Peek at the Purple, and it's controversial. Is it the Coach of the Year curse?
Ooh.
I'll explain on the side of the break. Common Man program on the Fan. 10B's got a keyword.
I do. The Fan wants to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword green at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is green. Enter now at KFAN.com.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Comedy sensation Daniel Tosh is bringing his hilarious stand-up show to the Twin Cities. Don't miss your chance to see him live on June 19th at the State Theater. Tickets are on sale now. Get the full details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
They could have got he is not going to get as many laughs as the Power Trip Morning Show did yesterday and today.
Oh, they were at Treasure Island this morning. It's so funny.
Yeah, it was. Well, they were there last night
as well,
too.
yeah.
You know what they did? It was called the TI Takeover. They had like thousands of people show up for that. And you know, Tim, I'm thankful for it. I mean, because again, I'm not one of those guys. It's wrong to root against the other people on your air staff. It's hard for me not to do that sometimes, but I love those guys because they are basically like they're the Lewis and Clark. Well, actually, Big Ticket and I were Lewis and Clark of the Fan. We were the one that, you know, we blazed the trail for others to follow. But now I got my wagon hitched to that morning show. The better they do, it just trickles down to the rest of us. It's sort of like trickle-down economics.
Yeah.
Right? And I like trickle-down economics. I always have.
And they're like the billionaires, and we're like the peasants.
Yes,
that a little bit trickles down to.
And I'm okay with that. Time now for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. Winter has not left yet. Nick at Affordable can help you keep warm. You can install fixed electric baseboard heaters, fan-forced heaters, and in-floor heat mats and cables. They can wire furnaces and boilers, dedicated circuits and receptacles for portable heaters and electric infrared heaters. And don't forget, they can protect your plumbing, too, so those pipes don't burst. It's going to get awful cold next week, down to, I think, minus 16 or so on Tuesday. So if you want to fight old man winter, you can get some help from Affordable. Visit affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric. They are, as we like to say, tend to be ready for it. Shockingly affordable. First of all, NFL honors last night. I did not see it, but I saw the highlights and saw the winners and the runners-up and blah, blah, blah. Coach of the Year, as many expected, went to Kevin O'Connell. He was, I think Dan Quinn finished second. Did Dan Campbell finish third? It's funny that
I think Campbell finished second.
Did Campbell finish second?
I think Quinn took fourth because I think Andy Reid was third.
Oh, really? Let me ask you a question. Then maybe I didn't see the results. Let me ask you a question. What was KOC's record against Dan Campbell this year?
0-2.
Okay. I watched Kevin's acceptance speech. I didn't know that. I've never watched the NFL honors. It's just like the Academy Awards or the Grammys. The nominees are. Bill Belichick was the one that announced the winner. Was it somebody else announced the nominees and then Billy, who was it, Snoop Dogg? Somebody did. I don't know. Snoop Dogg's everywhere now, by the way. Are Snoop Dogg's, Tennessee, you're a hip-hop guy.
Yep.
Are his most successful music-making days behind him, or is he still pounding out stuff that's, you know, are hip-hop stations still spinning hot stacks of wax from the top of the racks with Snoop Dogg's name on it?
I mean, if they're playing older music, yes.
okay.
But
He's not
I mean, his best music is 90s.
Okay.
He had some going on early 2000s, like So What We Get Drunk. He's on that song, I believe.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. But he has at least still kept himself pop culture-wise in the picture, right? Like he was doing announcing for the Olympics this last year for NBC.
He's doing T-Mobile commercials. He's doing all sorts of commercials. He's everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, everywhere you look, Snoop Dogg is there, so good for him. But Kevin O'Connell got up to accept a speech. First of all, he thanked his wife. Then he thanked his children. I think he then thanked his dog and cat, too. I don't think he owns a hamster, because if he does, he didn't thank the hamster. Maybe the hamster he didn't think had anything to do with it. All hamsters do is spin around on a wheel anyway. What an awful life. Put a little tiny, it's basically a rat, right? Just a better looking rat. And you put him in this little tiny plastic cage and he just runs around. It's just awful. What a terrible way to live. It's like, I mean, it's not as bad as solitary confinement. It's like you put him in a little shoebox or something. He actually can run around a little bit, but it's still just an awful way to treat a living, breathing organism. But, and then he thanked the Wilfs. I thank him too. He just signed like a 5-year contract for 15 plus a year. I'd be very thankful for the Wilfs. I'd thank the Lord too. And he
thanked the Lord first, actually.
Yeah, well, you should. Because the Lord is my shepherd. I walk with him always. Always, always, I walk with him always. And whether he's going left, right, backwards, forward, doesn't matter to me. And so then after the Wilfs, he thanked all the players, and he thanked the fans. He left somebody out, Tenneby. No thanking the president of football operations / general manager. No mention of Kwesi. Now, oh my gosh, did it just slip his mind? Because he wasn't reading off a prepared script.
I mean, he hired him.
So, I mean, I don't know. Do you think there's a schism there? Because I think there have been rumors of a schism before, and I've never really mentioned it because I don't know. But it did seem a little odd that he didn't mention his name, because you would have thought he would, right? Because they're supposed to be kind of working hand in hand, right? Coach says this is the kind of team.
I think in his new contract it said he's going to get more decision making when it comes to that stuff. I don't know how you figure that out, but
so I don't know. It's just kind of stuck out to me. You know?
Do you think KFC's up there going, I shouldn't be here right now. I should be at the big game, but I don't have a GM that can get me the proper players to put on the field?
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Or maybe, well, I'll just leave it at that. So I don't know where that is, but I just found it, and maybe it's nothing at all, but it's just something, put away in the deep, dark recesses of your mind. And just kind of
that's interesting.
It's controversial too. Our peek at the purple continues actually on the other side of the break, because it is the curse of the coach of the year, Tenneby. It runs deep. It's almost as if you don't want to be selected coach of the year. I'll explain on the other side of the break. Peek at the purple brought to you by Affordable Electric. Visit affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. Back after this here on The Fan.
This is your before and after story, where your first steps towards a new life-changing career begin. Southeastern College can take you there. We offer in-demand hybrid and online programs with hands-on training, led by in-field career professionals, and career services to put you on the path to a rewarding and fulfilling future. This is where your transformation begins. Southeastern College, your future is bright. Visit sec.edu to get started.
Heads up, comedy fans. The one and only Sebastian Maniscalco is coming to XL Energy Center. Get ready for an unforgettable night of laughter and fun when he takes the stage on Friday, February 14th. Check out our contest page for your chance to win a pair of tickets. Head over to KFAN.com. Keyword contest for your chance to win.
Tenemy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but KOC, Kevin O'Connell, wasn't the only winner of an award from Minnesota. I don't know if you saw it on my Twitter account, but I won the DRSOTY Kitchen Honors Award. That's the Dish Rack Sculpture of the Year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And if you look on my Twitter account, you'll see it, and it's very well done. And what's crazy, it's not even my best work, but it was still good enough to get Dish Rack Sculpture of the Year. So, because I've displayed my dish racks. It's an art form, man. We've talked about this where they've added silly activities or sports to the Olympics. Snowboarding and, I don't know, Summer Olympics probably has.
Yes.
We've talked about those things we used to do as a kid: sack race, wheelbarrow race, three-legged race. I just think those would be spectacular. I don't know why, and I know people think this is just a bit. I don't know why they don't do that. And I'm not saying eliminate the 100-yard dash. You got to replace it. But how cool would it be to see the old wheelbarrow race where there's the guy sitting there on his he's holding his ankles up like the guy, and then the other guy's got his hands on it. He goes, go, and then it would just be so much fun. Now I'm not saying you should do that as a steeplechase. That's not going to work. He's not going to be able to get off the ground. He'd get hurt. You're not going to do the high hurdles doing the wheelbarrow race. But I just don't know why they don't do it. And the dish rack sculpture thing, I think, is a pretty good event because there's some creativity to it. It's one of those things that would be like gymnastics or boxing or figure skating where there's a score, right? Because, beauty is in the art of the beholder. No. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yeah.
So, and same thing. What do you, I like the way the measuring cup, I like the way it's sitting just very slightly tilted to on where what is that thing they call the spoon and the silverware rack that's attached to your dish rack. I like the way he's used the two of them together. It's just brilliant. So I just think they should do that. But I did win that, and I'm thrilled with it. But I'm wondering if I want to win it because if there is a dish rack sculpture curse like there is a Coach of the Year curse, the next time I build one, I might come crashing down, and maybe one of the knives on it flies off and stabs me in the chest, and I bleed out and I die, right? Because listen to this, Tim. It's the curse of the Coach of the Year. Mike Vrabel won it with a 12-5 record. Following year, he went 7-10. He was fired. Kevin Stefanski went 11-5, won Coach of the Year. Following year, he went 8-9. No! Now, he's still with the club, but he went 8-9. Matt Nagy won Coach of the Year with a 12-4 record. Following year, he went 8-8. He got fired. Yeah. He got fired. Jason Garrett, 13-3, won the Coach of the Year award. Feeling pretty good about themselves. Following year, 9-7. Guess what happened? He got fired. He got fired. Do you think Jerry Jones liked firing him too? Do you think he said, "You're fired"?
I always love that.
How about this one? Ronnie Rivera goes 15-1.
Jeez.
Following year, after winning Coach of the Year, he went 6-10. What do you think happened to me?
Expired.
He got fired. He got fired. It's not the last time. It wasn't the first. Well, it may have been the first, but it wasn't the last time that Ronnie Rivera had won the Coach of the Year and got fired the next year. He also once went 12-4. Following year, he went 7-8-1, and he got fired. Now, there's a couple of others. Again, it's, me, wet blanket. It's not even a Wednesday, and here I'm throwing a wet blanket on Coach of the Year. Johnny Harbaugh went 14-2, and the following year went 11-5. It's not like, the rug got pulled out from the team, and they ended up having the second pick overall the next year. And then Sean McVay, actually, when he won at 11-5, he went 13-3 the next year. And maybe because of the KOC is part of the Sean McVay coaching tree. Which branch of which tree did McVay fall off of? Was he off, or did he start his own tree?
He was in Washington, wasn't he? In Washington with.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe he's on the Ron Rivera coaching tree. I don't know. And then I don't understand the Bruce Arians one. There's like a misprint here because it said he went 11-15. That's a lot of I don't think they played that many. That's a 26-game schedule. I don't think they played 26. And then the following year, he went 13-3, and he was fired. How do you go? So he couldn't have been 11-15, but what was he? How do you go 13-3 and get fired? Did Bruce Arians get fired after a 13-3 record? I don't believe it. I think that one's a misprint. Maybe this whole thing is fake news. I don't know.
McVay, by the way, was under Mike Shanahan in Washington.
The Shanahan coaching tree. Apple don't fall far from the tree. So, do you really want to win the Coach of the Year award? I mean, it's almost like it's the kiss of death for many people, so we'll find out. So I just, again, not me to bring up bad news, but that's what I saw there. Josh Allen won the AP Most Valuable Player Award, which, it's interesting. I'm going to do more. This might be considered idolizing. And he said he was stunned that he wasn't expecting it. And probably when...
Did it say when the Arians one was?
No.
Was that when he was with Tampa Bay?
Well, either that or... didn't he have a good year with the Cardinals? It must have been with Tampa Bay. It must have been Tampa Bay.
So, because he stepped down.
Okay, so then he wasn't fired, so they were wrong. He stepped down. Was it after a 13-3 season, too?
13-4 when you consider the playoff loss.
Okay, all right.
But they had won the big game the year before.
So Allen wins the MVP award. And, the postseason award stuff for me personally, because I'm not involved, doesn't really mean a lot to me. I mean, so what's the deal? Hey, great, you got the MVP of the Year award, but you're at home watching the big game just like me. Josh Allen and I will be doing the same thing, watching the game from home. So my guess is he'd much rather be playing. And I know when you're doing these awards things, it's sort of similar to... What is it similar to? When you're doing these awards things, it's sort of similar like the Hall of Fame stuff. Just people voting on it. What does it really mean? Then, who's the most valuable to their team? And I think it's always, obviously, for that season. But I'd still say Mahomes is the most valuable player in pro football. I just would, I mean, if you take, the way I don't know what the criteria really is for this award. Maybe it's been explained that I'm just not paying as close attention. And then I'm sure I'll get a text from people saying, it's your job, you should know. It's supposed to be, like, for me, it's like if you took that player off the team, where would that team be? If you take Mahomes off the team, they're not in the big game. They're not, right? I don't think. Unless it was Josh Allen playing for him. But I don't know. But Allen gets it. He beats out Lamar. It was a very close vote. And Lamar's won it twice, and he's never won a big game. But Josh gets it. Burrow won Comeback Player of the Year award. Jaden Daniels, AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. Patrick, is it Surtain, the second? Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year. He's got a lot of talent, right?
He's very good. Shutdown corner.
Jared Verse. We know very well here in Minnesota how good he is. He won the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and as we mentioned, Bill Bell.
Did Dallas Turner get any votes there?
No. Not a one that I'm aware of.
Dallas Turner is going to be the comeback player of the year in year 2 when he ends up being the best defensive player in football.
Then, as we mentioned, and Saquon Barkley won Offensive Player of the Year, which only makes sense. And then Jaden Daniels, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Did I just say that? Ben Johnson won the Associated Press Assistant Coach of the Year. I think that was the first one they awarded. And I think most people expected that. And then your guy.
Beeflo took second.
Yes. And then your guy, Kevin O'Connell, ends up winning the Coach of the Year award. The Wolves, see, now that's a basketball game. That's playing basketball. Is that too much to ask? But you know what I noticed, Tenneby? All it took was getting DiVincenzo and Randall out of the lineup for the team to start to play like they're capable of. Oh my gosh. Since the two of them have left the lineup, we're playing our best basketball.
Chemistry's back.
The chemistry's back. Wish we could get Bodega Cat back. Just he had another monster game the other night. He had like 24-12 or something like that. He had, in the 20s with points, double-digit boards. Though I guess, did you see that the TNT crew, Kenny, the Jet, Shaq, Diesel, O'Neal, and the round of rebound, they drafted. That's how influential they are in the league. Do I have this correct? They drafted the NBA teams because there's going to be 3 NBA teams and 1 Rising Stars team, right? And they're going to play like a round robin the way it's going to go. It's not going to be a regular All-Star game. It's like first team to 40, not timed. So they're changing things in the NBA to try to make it better, right? And so, it was those 3 guys drafted the teams. Ant was the second player taken overall. Did you know that? Ant was taken number 2, even though in fan voting, because I think the fans were responsible. I thought I read, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm almost certain I read this, that the fans are solely responsible for
selecting the All-Star.
For selecting the All-Star team. And Ant was selected as he was selected as a reserve. Bodega Cat was selected as a starter. I saw, I think Bodega Cat was one of the 3 last players taken by the panel. Think about that.
Huh.
One of the 3 last players. Kenny the Jet selected Ant second. And I can't remember who went first. I think Shaq had first pick. And I don't remember who Shaq took. I suppose I could look at, maybe you could just find it for me and see what order they went in. But Ant went second, and he was brilliant again last night. It was another third quarter performance. He had 40 for the second night in a row. He had a number of assists and a number of rebounds as well. Again, when his mind is right and he's locked in, maybe was complaining to officials. Apparently, too, according to the gamer that I saw in one of the fish wraps, he thought he got kind of cheap shotted by what's-his-face, and that kind of annoyed him. And that even pumped him up a little bit more, where it was like, and even
calling him dirty.
Yeah, he basically said, "Look, I like aggressive basketball and playing hooping and stuff like that." But he goes, "Man, that's not right." Now I looked for a highlight. I didn't find anything that I didn't see anything. I don't know if I just missed it, but that's what I like to see out of your basketball club, because that's it. That Rockets club is a talented team. I think if the playoffs were to start today, and they're not. But if they were to start today, I think the Rockets would have, are they the 3rd seed in the West? That team has played very well this year.
They're 4th now after last night's loss.
So they dropped to 4th. So
they've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah. So, well, then maybe that's part of it too, but I'm not going to take anything away from the Wolves in that victory. But
what order did you want for the NBA All-Star? LeBron went 1.
Yeah. Oh, so he did go 1. That's
Anthony
right.
Edwards went. Yeah. So he went 1 to Shaq.
Right.
Anthony Edwards went number 2 to Kenny.
And then who went 3?
The Joker went number 3 to Chuck. So he had 2 picks in a row. He took Joker and the Greek Freak.
Okay. I'd just like to have those 2 guys in your real team, huh? Wow. And then who did Kenny go to then?
Well, then ended up going back to Shaq, apparently.
Oh.
He had Steph Curry at 5. Then Kenny got Jalen Brunson and Jaren Jackson Jr. 6 and 7.
Wow.
And then Chuck got SGA from Oklahoma City at number 8. I like Chuck's lineup.
Chuck's lineup's
He's the one who got the big meow at 21.
Oh, he did get big meow at 21.
And there's 24 players chosen. So.
Yeah. Who was Mr. Irrelevant?
Tyler Hero, Miami Heat.
We don't need another hero. So, yeah, well, I will say this. Now, trust me, the chances of me even watching the All-Star game aren't very good, but there is a better chance I would watch it now with this format. You know, sort of like how they changed. We've talked about this, Tennessee. You know, they changed the NHL. It's a 3-on-3, and there's a skills matchup. Who's the best at the saucer pass? Who's the best at the wraparound? You know, I like those better than just watch because
I like the idea. You said they're going to a game to 40.
Yeah,
I like the idea of no clock.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And so
they're going to be pushing the pace more likely than they typically do.
And I think they might even play a little defense there because it might be kind of fun, right, to play the other team and it's a round robin. Again, I don't think they're going to go at it like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
No.
But I still think there might be a bit more effort put into the game. At least I'm hoping so. So I do like, and we'll see if it improves it at all. But
it goes back to the idea we've heard before and we've talked about before, right, of changing the way the end of the NBA game is, where once it gets to a certain point on the clock, was like with 4 minutes to go in the game or what a normal game would be, then you just, whatever the score is from that point, the leading team, they now have to get to 10 points more than where they're at. So every game is going to end on a scored basket.
Correct.
And not just a foul.
Yeah, I do like that.
I love that.
And I think this will basically be, this is sort of a test. Now, do I think the NBA will ever do that? There was a time I'd say no, because these teams always seem, you know, look at all of these professional sports. The NBA has been around for decades, as has the NFL, Major League Baseball, and the NHL, right? And I know they tweaked the rules over the years. I mean, just the NBA going to a 3-point play and a shot clock was astonishing, really, when they did it, right? What do you mean there's a shot clock? No, we want to take the air out of the ball. I mean, this is crazy. And same thing with the 3-pointer going, oh, wait a minute. Now, plus, you know, there's always the purist, and I'm sort of that purist way where I go, well, all these records now, but then I started thinking about it, I don't really even care that much about the records. But if you played in the league and you were the all-time leading scorer back when it was only 2 points a bucket, like when you were Pistol Pete Maravich, you know, he was only making 2-pointers, right? That guy could score 45 points a night on twos. I mean, that guy could fly. Think of, you know, we talked about that didn't he just die recently, or somebody broke his college record and his name came? I think that's what it was. His name came back up because somebody broke the college record, and I was reading a primer or a refresher on his career, and you know, he's scoring 2 points, and he's scoring 45, 50 points a game. It's astonishing. But yeah, you know, the NFL, I mean, they've changed their rules over the years. The NHL, I don't know of all the rule changes, but I'm sure there have been some. Baseball's changed rules. Remember when you don't remember this, when they added a DH, everybody was like, sacrilege.
Yeah.
What do you mean the pitcher's not going to hit?
Well, even just interleague play.
Yeah, interleague play. Exactly. What do you mean you're going to play other teams? Which I actually at the time didn't like. I kind of liked the idea that when they met in the World Series, they'd never seen each other.
Yeah.
Then you start thinking, well, big deal. Who cares about stuff like that? That's that old school Rube-like stuff that, no, you can't change the way it's played. That's the way it's always been. You're not gonna remember they shaved the mound down? That was between 68 and 69, year of the pitcher. Bob Gibson's got like a 1.12 ERA. A year or so ago, I think we took a look at the stats that Gibson had for a stretch that year. He went like 10-0, gave up like, you know, maybe 20 hits in the 10 game. He was practically throwing no hitters. I'm probably exaggerating some, which I do often. But the numbers were just astonishing. So then what they said was, well, you know what we got to do is when they're standing on that mound, it was like Mount Kilimanjaro. So they're just standing up there, just staring down at those hitters, and they're almost throwing down a little bit, right? And they say, well, we can't do that anymore. These guys are just too dominant. They're getting too good, and they can work the ball too much. They're overpowering hitters. It was, we need more offense in the game. That's why they did the DH in the American League. Then all of a sudden they lowered the mound down. I don't know how much it changed. I guess you could probably look at stats. There's probably numbers out there, sabermetrics, analytics that show that, offense probably did increase when they did that. Yes, Maravich died about 30 years ago. That's right. Sorry about that. I love this one. This is the old... Maybe actually watch a Wolves game. Why? You out of your mind? Why would I want to do that? That's not my cup of tea, man. Now, if we get late in the season and they're got a game or two left to make postseason play, yeah, I'll do it. And then once playoffs start, I'll watch. I watched every playoff game. I said that matters. The team, how many times do I have to say it? If you don't believe me, you watch a game. They don't put 100% effort into the game every day, and I don't have any interest in watching it. Last night, it looks like they put some effort into it, and it looks like they played from start to finish. And if you're doing that, then I'm all in. But I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to do it for me. I don't need, I've told you before, it's not that hard to analyze sports. You see a highlight, you get some quotes from the players, you read the gamer, you know exactly what happened. I know what happened last night. Ant got PO'd, and Ant went off, and that's why they won. It's not that complicated. And they played some defense, apparently, when they needed to. That's defense wins championships. And I'm just telling you what, it is going to be fun to see when Doncic gets paired with, LeBron must be inspired. He went off for 42, I think.
Really?
When was the last time LeBron had 42? I don't remember. So LeBron goes off for 42. And I'm interested to see, apparently, Steph's all in on Butler. They had a nice conversation.
Nice.
They talked on it. They talked on the telephone, on the handheld that doubles as. And apparently they're on the same page and they're raring to go. So sure, the dust is settled. That's what the one guy wrote in his recap of the NBA trades. The dust is settled. Let the games begin. And that's what we'll do. We'll take a break. We'll come back. When we do, Feminine Touch of the program, Lil B, she'll join us next here on the Common Man program on the Fan.